I hate losing. So I'm willing to go to whatever cave, go whatever place I need to be in order to make sure I don't lose. People don't think that maybe I'm actually capable of winning. They don't see me as being the best, or I have the potential to win, all that noise I hear. And so I would definitely say I carry that with me.
Did you change from football Jayson to CrossFit Jayson?
I was a jock.
Yeah, honestly, like, if you guys think he's a douchebag now, if only you had known him.
I was high school with Jayson.
During his football days, this is how he'd start at the line.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That was like one game.
He'd go like this to intimidate people. How this is intimidating, I don't know. But he would make you think.
Oh my God. And then I always said 3's up.
In the home runs in the league. One of the kids on the other team over there beat him. Hit. There's a hit. He reached for it, he got a hit. Good job.
I played a lot of baseball growing up. That was my first love when it came to sports. My brother played baseball in college, and so I kind of tried to follow his footsteps.
Did they know about your career in baseball as well?
Yeah, I told him. My first love.
Chased MLB like his brother?
Yeah, this is Happy Boy. I wasn't as good as my brother, so I realized that I had more potential in football. Probably sophomore year, I'd go to like camps trying to get some eyes on me from college, and I'd be balling out there. At that point, it's like, okay, maybe I am pretty good at this. Being recruited and like going through the recruiting process is always like this dream for anyone that's coming into high school. The goal was to be the next Wes Welker. I believed that I was going to be an NFL superstar all the way up until the point of my first year at Clemson.
Watson, touchdown! Clemson Tigers, new kings of college football.
The fact he was on the Clemson football team in general was mind-boggling to me, just because I grew up going to these games. It was like, what do you mean he's good enough to even be on that field? Or like, how is he good enough to be like running down the hill like that? Like, how does he get to touch the rock?
Only in college football, heavyweight fights had their ring walks. CFB has Clemson's grandest entrance in sports.
You know, I got on the team. Things became clear that there was another tier of athletic ability, and this probably wasn't going to pan out for me. At that point in my life, I did a lot of CrossFit. I realized that I had to make a decision, and so I knew that it would be way easier for me to go be a CrossFit Games athlete than try to, accomplish these NFL dreams. It was fun. It was a good time. I tried not to put too much stock into that comp because I knew how challenging it was going to be to qualify with them only given 2 spots. And so, obviously I wanted to qualify and punch my ticket early because that would have been super convenient for sure. But I didn't want to it not work out and me sit in sadness or frustration or whatever the emotions that would have come with it not qualifying. I didn't want to sit in that for multiple weeks, and so it was best that I kind of just kept it in its proper place. This is a qualifying opportunity. If it doesn't work out, then that's fine. We'll just qualify somewhere else. The process of quitting football was rather easy. It was seamless because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew without even having done CrossFit that I could go to the CrossFit Games. Then I jumped into a box. I had a lot more respect for the game. In the back of my mind, I knew that I could eventually do it. It just might not be as easy as I initially thought. I started falling in love with the fitness and the process of being great, and there was something there.
Yeah, it's just quality. 10 minutes, 5 freestanding handstand push-ups, 2 seated rope climbs, and then like a 20-second L-sit hold. So we kind of like, I wouldn't say we peaked for the classic, but it was like a mini spike, and then it's kind of like back down. Took a few days off, let the body recover, and then kind of building back up to a semifinal, which will be first week of May. So in like 4 weeks. So now it's like the first block to like that build. Typically I don't like online stuff, but I'm doing it with Dallin. So I'll get that little race that I would be looking for on the floor at a road competition. I'll go head against anybody really. Like I like just racing in general, but he's closer, be more convenient. I'm sure he'll do well in the online semifinal workout, so it'll be a good push for sure.
Jayson Hopper. He is going to Madison, Wisconsin.
I think we all want to know, who is this guy? Where did you come from?
So in 2021, I won the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge and kind of burst onto the scene. It felt like everything that you would want in your story. You know, I was a no name at the time.
Give it up for Jayson Hopper.
It was amazing. Felt good. Felt like all the work was paying off. It felt like, okay, like this is a step in the right direction of achieving my goals. I went to the games that year and came in 19th. It was kind of a letdown for everybody, myself, everybody else that, you know, thought I was going to win.
Just blasted it by a minute. Hopper is in.
That year I came in 7th. So there was a huge step in the right direction. After that, I continued to double down on the work, double down on the volume, double down on whatever I thought needed to happen to take it to the next level. And I probably pushed the line a little bit too far, and I got cut. This is gonna be pretty dark. I hate losing, so I'm willing to go to whatever cave, go whatever place I need to be in order to make sure I don't lose. And that's not to say I always win, but that is to say that I do hate losing. I was numb.
Man, Jayson Hopper is not a weak man, and this sled is just stopping him dead in his tracks.
At that point, I was deep into training. I was ready for the season to be over with. And so when it happened, it was kind of like a relief, if you will. Like, I'm glad this is over. What happened that year wasn't a reflection of my capabilities. It wasn't mental, it wasn't physical, it wasn't any of that. The mentality was still there. I think the thing that went wrong was just the game plan. Yeah, I felt really good, to be honest. Physically, there are some things that can still be improved before it's actually like ready to go. The mind is there. I believe that I can win. I'm not unaware of everybody else. I know there's a lot of really great athletes, and it's gonna be really tough to win. But anybody who's saying it's gonna be a cakewalk is lying to you. People don't think that maybe I'm actually capable of winning. Maybe I'm not, like, they don't see me as being the best, or I have the potential to win, all that noise I hear. And so I would definitely say I carry that with me. I realized what the game plan needed to be, It needed to be that I lived around family, around friends, in a place that I love. It needed to include the right plan within the gym. I think the thing that was like I was waiting for was just the love of the sport and the love of competing to come back to me. This was my freshman year of high school. This is the first time I've ever had a buzz cut in my life. And I went to Great Clips like 3 days before school, for my first day of high school. And I was like, hey, I need this haircut that I always get. It's in your system, please look. And she took a 1 right down my head. I was like, that's not what is in the system. Like, it's in, like, you know, they record your stuff. So the next time you come in, they're like, oh, you're in the system, this is what kind of haircut you want. I had a buzz cut first day in high school, and I cried.
That's when we started dating again.
That's when we started dating.
That was our first date.
Look how cute
when we
are.
started dating, and we haven't stopped since. We were on and off all throughout high school, and then whenever he went off to Clemson, we didn't speak. I didn't think I'd ever really talk to him or see him again. Thought it just a silly high school little relationship, and we were parting ways kind of thing. So at the time, we were going to like a mega church of sorts. So they had different campuses, I guess. And so he figured out my whereabouts, basically, and knew that I was coming up to the church that evening.
After a year.
Hadn't talked for a year. And then whenever the church event was done, he was outside in the parking lot. And he had written letters to me over the past year. I know, it was really sweet. Whereas I was just out and about living my life, not thinking twice about him. And yeah, he had written letters and typed out our story basically over the past, I guess at that point I had known you 4 or 5 years, and put it all together in a book. Prayers he had written, a bunch of really sweet stuff. So he gave it to me, and I didn't talk to him for about a week afterwards because I was like, I don't know what to do with all this information.
She was shook.
I was shook. And then the rest is history. The real Jayson, he definitely is, he's sarcastic and he wants to laugh and make people laugh. But he's also got a very gentle, soft heart. I joke that he really is a teddy bear, even though he looks nothing like a big, scary guy. I don't love him being perceived as the villain because I know he isn't, but I also get his background in sports is the locker room talk. It's the, being aggressive and butting heads, and it's sport how he knows it. It's hard because when I see people say negative things about him or acknowledging how he comes across on the internet sometimes, it's hard because I so badly want to shake them and be like, that's not who he is.
Did you hear what I said?
No, not really. I just heard you flopping across the finish line.
Yes, I flopped across the finish line this past week, but at least I didn't walk on a 3-mile run.
Yeah, that's good.
But
Be ready for what's going to happen next, though.
Will he be pissed, though?
No, he won't get actually pissed, but he'll definitely chirp back. you probably won't like it.
I didn't want to hit him where it's sore. I didn't know if he was really upset about that performance a while back.
He still won. Why the hell?
After Mayhem, my takeaway was that I need to do more running interference. So I'm a good runner, but I need to be a good runner with my legs blown up, essentially. So we're out here. We're going to blow up my legs, and then we're going to learn how to flush them out at the quickest pace possible. This workout's not going to do itself,
CrossFit isn't this sport where it's like hands-on, so you can't really like actually dominate your opponent. Football, your opponent could be like better than you, he's stronger, faster, all the things, and somehow your motivation and your like will could somehow balance the playing field. And it's kind of different because it's not like that in fitness. Like your fitness is your fitness. There's a lot of things that I'm lacking in the space. I want it more, you know? Like I know I want it more. I wish I could just like will it to happen, and it just doesn't work that way. So you gotta put in the work.
You know, I know that I've been given a talent and I want to steward it to my best ability. And I have the obligation to go out there and compete at my best and to give everything I got. And I do believe that work will be blessed, whether I win or don't win. I do think that I will win the CrossFit Games if the right things fall into place. You would be very naive to think that there wasn't a little bit of luck in winning. The performance has to be there, the luck has to be there, the desire has to be there, the health has to be there. Everything has to be aligned. And if all those things are aligned, then your chances are pretty great. The right Jayson has to be there.